Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I believe we've officially hit double digits, and so I didn't really think we'd get here when we started, but episode 10 of the podcast, and this is what you've all been waiting for, the track builder competition reveal. I know Timothy Tamut has spent the last few days relentlessly jumping in, figuring it out. I know Ben Shuilon has been thinking about it. I know Niels Heldens has also been testing some stuff out, but guys, it is here, the track builder competition. Before I share the details, because all three of us will be competing, Vic, have you been thinking about what track you want to build over the next week?
Well, I did try and just, try the track builder again because it's been so many months since I even, opened it up. And I did make an 8. Now, it wasn't very good because I tried making a hill. And for some reason, the hill never happened. So literally, the track just went through each other, which not really safe. So basically, what I made was like a demolition, like Derby course, whatever, which is quite funny. But yeah, I haven't really thought about like a specific track I want to make, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try and recreate some place where I've been, or something that springs up a good memory of my cycling career, if you want to say it like that. So. Yeah, I've dabbled. I've tried it. So.
If monster trucks ever become a thing, I think that's going to be the track to be on, the figure eight demolition derby track. That's
yeah,
the
imagine
one.
the crashing.
Yeah, Beth, how about you?
I think that's actually really interesting because now we've just got it, like avoid the rock, watch the closed lane, and now you have to watch riders coming crisscross from the side. I like that as a new difficulty setting. I have played with it too. And what I have to think a little bit more about what shape I want. I don't think with my ability, I think I need to just pretend I'm not replicating anything. And if it actually looks like something, then I will be like, yeah, I meant to do that. So I'll just put something together and put it out there. But you know who's I'm looking forward to? Last night, Aaron mentioned he was going to do something very evil and devious. So I don't know if he's going to do something to rival your steep whatever 45-minute climb that you guys did, but he's got something in the works and he was holding it pretty close to his chest.
I feel like we need to add a rule that whatever track you create, you have to finish yourself. Like, in order for it to be eligible to be in the competition, you need to record yourself riding one physical lap. Because otherwise, I feel like Aaron is just going to be like, what's the steepest gradient we can do? What's the longest distance the Cade track builder can support? 25% at 500 kilometers? Here we go, everybody. Get those grind out. Let's see how it goes. I've been thinking a lot about this because I want to build a good track. And I think I'm going to build a sequel to everybody's favorite track. Wait, I'm just here. What not everybody thinks is their favorite track. I want to build a sequel to the mountain bike course by Jesper. I love it. It was one of the first tracks in the game. I really want to see if I can create something that rivals the feel that track has, and I've got a fairly good idea in mind. But the track building competition, it's so simple, guys. First of all, if you're wondering where the track builder is, because it's for some reason it's hidden in the game, you have to go into the hamburger menu, the menu that pops up. If you press advanced view, then under my stuff, it pops up and then it opens up the track builder. So today, the competition launches. If you have a track built before today, it will not count. You'll have to go in and create it again because I don't want Ryan Goldenberg to enter Mitochondria. I don't want Ben to enter Metropolis. I want to see who can build a track. We have 1 week, so Wednesday next week is the deadline because all three of us celebrate Christmas, and I think we're all looking to ramp down. So Wednesday next week will be the last podcast. So you have a week, and you have a $50 decoration budget. So in the game, you can buy items, and they all have a set value. You can only go to 50 because we don't want this to become pay to win. I mean, what you could do if you're Quentin Molyneux is you could pay $5,000 worth of decorations and build the best ever track. Now, I'm not going to stop you from doing that, Quentin, but you won't be able to win if that's the case. So you've got from now till Wednesday to build a track. You've got $50 decoration. The theme is build whatever you want to do. Literally build whatever you have in mind. No things are off, no things are on. And then it gets judged. And so the way it gets judged by your three favorite people. And it's not just us in this because we have one vote. So Beth, Vic, and I, as a whole, the podcast has 1 vote. Frank has 1 vote because I think Frank will want a vote in this. So Frank has
I thought
a
he was
vote.
getting 2.
And the community, that'd have been funny, Beth, if we just said Frank gets 2 votes and that's it. That would probably upset some people. And then the community is the final vote. So 3 votes in total. It's us, the podcast, it's Frank Garcia, the individual, and it's the community as a total. Now, the track, it has to be rideable. Keep that in mind. I mean, there has to be something that we can ride because we don't want you to go out and create something crazy. But what do you guys think? Like, we have a week now of building tracks. Like, what do you think we're going to see people doing? Because we're going to have people that have so much experience and people that have so little experience try this out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna definitely see like 2 ends of the spectrum. We're gonna see like these amazing tracks, and then we're probably just gonna see like a velo track, which is probably gonna be me, honestly, because when I did try the track builder, it's not easy. Like, you see the tracks that Ben make and Ryan and Allison, and they make it look so easy. But what I feel like it's going to happen is we've seen Niels in the past, like he's most likely going to try and recreate one of those F1 tracks again. I feel like what you're going to do is you're going to take maybe like a moment, like a place you've been, or like your favorite, I don't know, track somewhere, like a piece of road, and you're going to try and recreate it. Or you might go in the other direction of just creating something, that doesn't really exist, like a Saturn type course, Fantastic Alien Sea type. But yeah, what I would say is just, just let your imagination flow and just try and recreate or create something new and just have a lot of fun with it. Because like just us like talking about this, I just have like 1,000 ideas in my head going like, maybe I should do this. Like, there's so much to do. And I feel like, the track builder is such a good tool to let your, imagination like put it on something. So yeah, I think we're going to see things we never expected to see, and what I'm really hoping comes out of this is just some new amazing tracks that we can ride and have fun with on CVRcade.
As a judge, Beth, what do you look for? What do you look? What gets the Beth York vote?
Well, before I give what gives the Beth York vote, I was thinking about Ben's inbox. He's probably going to have at least one person who's going to be reaching out to him for tips. Well, I think that it's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously, I was actually thinking about what's like going to be the criteria, and I would say creativity, and not just in terms of what does it visually look like, but the turns that are put in, the way the climbs. I mean, if you think about Dust Bowl Crit, what's so creative about that, and Ben had talked about it, was that he wanted to have a really tight turn before the climb so that you couldn't accelerate into the climb. So from a racing perspective, that forethought, I think, was really creative and tactical. So that's going to be one of the things I'm thinking about. Like, if I was to ride it, like, was there some thought put into sort of why the turn's there? I mean, other than like, oh, that's good, whoops, I meant, good enough, chicane, like, so I think that that's going to be one of the criteria. And, I don't think I'm going to get too hung up on the visual, because it depends on the theme that someone uses, right? And so that's very subjective, like what theme you like. So more, I think it's going to be, for me, how it feels to ride it, and what thought got put into it as how you might race it.
I will 100% be judging you in the visual. So what you can do is you can opt not to spend the $50. Like, so the price of this is Victor, Beth, and I all individually. Like, this is not a CVR sanctioned competition. This is the podcast, the talk show, us together as a unit. We are laying down this competition, and the money is coming out of our pockets. So whoever wins gets $50 from each of us. Whoever wins $150, and if you spent your entire budget, you come out with a net $100 profit. But you can opt to spend less or none at all, which would up your profit, but it also decreases the likelihood of you winning, because someone like Victor is a smart guy. He values like work ethic or work compared to reward. And I can see Victor just making a little circle and going, art. I call this the Cade Circle.
What? Well, no, I think I am. It was interesting, Beth, what you said, because I didn't really think about this. You know, Frank might judge it based on how it rides on Cade, like as a track we would race on or ride on. I think I am more just gonna base it on how it looks. So I think I'm less about the personality of the track and more like just the looks of it. So, but maybe if you make a circle and you put a massive rock in the middle or something like that, I mean, that might be modern art, and I might like it. Who knows? But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm going to go more for the looks and like the feel of the track than anything.
I want someone to create a Banksy course or Banksy track and be like, this is urban street art, this is amazing. And then when they don't win, they're like, you just don't appreciate art. I mean, this has got so many. This is the reason why we've got several judges in on it, by the way, guys, because one person's gem is another person's, trash. And so what we might think is amazing, Frank might differ. And then you, the community, you're listening in right now, you get one vote each as a community. So like, as a community, your majority vote counts in this. So you have to think as well, what do I value? Am I Beth and I enjoy group rides and classes? Do I need to know how it feels and rides? Am I Jesper and Vic, who the majority of the time, they just spent there sitting and watching the game, which means the graphics are better? Are you Frank? Which means the racing is like, oh my god, it's key. I mean, these are all the things that come in. What I'm really looking forward to is seeing who gets Ben's vote. Like, Ben is like the master builder. If you've seen the Lego movie, he's like the main protagonist. And then this one, who's Ben Shuilog gonna go with? But you've got a week. So today the competition opens. From the moment this video goes out, go crazy, start building, and then Wednesday next week it will finish. And so the way you submit your track, you have two options. You can either record a video yourself and send it to me, and then I will look it over, I'll give it the approval and I'll save it. Or you can say, Jesper, I don't know how to film. Could you come on to my track and write it with me, and then you film it? I'll gladly do that, but that requires a bit of organization, a bit of logistics. So if that's the way you're gonna do, text me, say, Jesper, I'd like to have you film my track. What time are you available? And then we'll figure it out. So those are the two ways. If you don't submit a video, if you don't get me to ride your track and I make the video, it doesn't get submitted, because I don't believe you can see other people's tracks unless they get published, and these are the only two ways that you can submit them. But guys, I'm looking forward to it. It's the first of its kind. It's either going to be a car crash or it's going to be amazing. I mean, I can't wait to see it.
To look away, right?
Well, at least we get new tracks. The reason we're doing this is to, broaden the pool of events that we can do on the platform. Yep. And there are some people out there that haven't dared yet try the track builder, who may just be geniuses. Like, Ben gets all the credit because he's the only one who's bothered. He's the only one that's actually taken the time to learn the craft. Like, somebody might come in and right. Ben looks like a novice. You never know. So guys, track builder competition. Let the games begin. Vic, this is where in editing you have like flames all over the screen, and like you have like music on, like birds coming across. Somebody with a massive drum just going.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's it, guys. Next up, the next topic. We've got two more topics today in the podcast. What the heck just happened yesterday, guys? Like, country rally, sudden lane change, echelon. Beth, what was that like to commentate?
Well, I didn't go through and watch the K and L zones. I was tied up with a number of things, but I did watch a little bit of the highlights. So when I got to Country Rally, and I was like, wait, there must be a problem, because I'm in as a just to kind of watch, and I'm like flying around the course, and I had just said, so Frank, the flat tire combination with the ability, great responsibility. Like, I was like, so is that just a counter move? And he goes, you'll see. So I didn't know how that race was going to go, but race group ride. But I did find the tenor and everyone was just sort of relaxed and having a good time. And I think we talked way too much about my hair color and curls and straight. Yeah. Yep. Yep. But it's like a group ride, right? Like, you get back from a group ride and like, what did I just talk about with my friends? It's just randomness down the rabbit hole. It's fun.
Vic, What? Because
Yeah,
I know we had the nuts discussion with Timothy.
I said it to you this morning about that, but I guess
Not the
you
hair
didn't
color.
listen.
I thought you said hair curl. I thought
Yeah,
you
but
said
that was
curls.
one story. It was there was the main topic in Zone T yesterday was hair. Now that was Frank that decided that, and we had many discussions about dyeing your hair and all these kind of things. And I feel, yeah, it was just a lot of fun, really.
So it's like a cosmetic stream on CVRcade. Next up, can we have someone do Frank's makeup live on air? Can we have Kathy or Jennifer fly in and like...
We do know a little bit more that Frank will never dye his hair. He's more likely to shave his head, and he would dye his beard. Spoiler.
Frank with a shaved head. That'd be, oh my god, that'd be scary. I mean, I'd love to see it, Frank. If you want to do it one day, we can film it. We can put it up. I don't know, some sort of charity thing, but you can see Vic. If you're not listening,
I will not shave my head, and I will not dye my beard, for the record.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, yesterday was so different. It was really fun. It was really relaxing. K and L Beth. It wasn't hair. It was Timothy bringing 5 kilos of nuts and eating it on stream. So we just kept talking about Timothy's obsession and love for nuts, and like for some reason he just loves big quantity of nuts, and we just kept like diving into it. It got better and better and better. Sorry, Beth.
I've never seen a basket that big of just pure, like, whatever kind of nuts it was, peanuts, whatever, and he just kept munching on him like the whole stream, and it just became this running joke. And I'm sorry, Timothy, but you make it way too easy bringing that big thing on stream. Like, what were you thinking?
I did see a bucket in the highlights. I saw like a bucket, and you guys were talking about it being dog food or something, and I was like,
that was the initial.
Timothy says, I have this bucket of nuts. I would never feed my dog this, so I'm gonna eat it. I'm like, where is the logic in that? It's like, this is so unhealthy, so I'll take one for the team here. 5 kilos of nuts. Like, that guy. The best thing, Vic, was when we were on to the airplanes' names, and I went, oh, Hindenburg. That'd be a great nickname for Timothy. Or the Concorde. And then somebody said Airbus A380. Do you want to reveal who that was, Victor?
It might have been me. Now that is a bad joke, but like, yeah, it's just funny. It just reminds me of Timothy for some reason. I mean, it's just a massive airplane that carries loads of passengers and is great and can travel all around the world. So, just like Timothy.
Oh god, it was so fun. It was so different. I mean, I don't like. Yesterday, Frank was just in such a different mood. He wouldn't let us stop the stream. I don't know about you, Beth, but I went on that note.
Yeah, I was warned a little bit that first of all, I love the relaxed nature. I love getting we've talked to the racers while they're racing or after they're racing, but everyone was just relaxed and it was nice, and including Frank, and it just kept going, and then he'd be like, "What do you think, Beth?" And I'd be like, "Okay, here we go." But then it just became a joke to see, and I think he might have forgot that like you could put me in a dark room by myself with a microphone, and I could just keep going, and someone would knock on the door, being like, "You okay?"
I tried to keep it somewhat civil. I tried to like actually commentate it at times, and Frank is like, "Boo, boo, Jesper, would you shut up, please?" And I'm like, it says host down here. What am I supposed to do? Leave it silent? I don't know what to do.
But he was racing, so he was trying to get me to talk to the racers that were in front of him to distract him. So he's like, Beth, I think you should interview Kayla. And I'm like, okay. And like the first time he said that, I wasn't like necessarily picking up that he was like, it was the person in front of them. And of course, then I was like, oh, I get it. But it was really, really funny. We talked about video games, and there's that ET video game we talked about. I don't remember that game, but I guess you buried ET in the desert. Some of the people in the stream actually were commenting about it. They knew about that game, that Atari game. So
before our time. I mean, the earliest I can remember is like Nintendo 64 Mario, like Mario, Super Mario. That's about it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that is what that is like. Normal streams are kind of like that. What we do streaming wise, it's more professional, it's more polished. So yesterday, it's actually more difficult to do a stream like yesterday than it is to do a normal play-by-play broadcast. Because you have to be funny, and being funny on command is so not easy. Like having to come up with jokes, having to like bounce. Because Vic, we had 8 calls all with audio open at the same time. That never happens.
Yeah, I mean it's quite difficult, because it's not a natural conversation really, because it's kind of like yesterday felt like kind of mix of like it's still like the CVRcade like seriousness, but it's like just not at the same time. It's kind of this weird mix. But I mean, I really liked yesterday. I think it showed like the potential of just like the social nature of CVRcade. Like we don't always have to go out and just kill ourselves. And I feel the people watching on Mixer, I feel like they definitely felt that it was more relaxed. And we definitely saw, I mean, we saw Batista. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but Sunshower is her name on Mixer. And like she was in, we had John and we had, what was his name? What was that?
Glenn, the Avro Manchester.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Timothy's friend. So we definitely saw new people on, and I feel like, from, the perspective of like people on the platform, I definitely feel like more social easy rides will make it less daunting for people to try CVRcade, because as entertaining it is to see, Kayla, Tim, Quinton, all these people, absolutely killing themselves. Doing that yourself from like a gaming perspective, if you just play video games, quite scary, and you don't really want to do it. You will watch it, but you won't really try it. But I feel what we did yesterday, if we continue doing more social streams, mix it with the racing, we will see more people on the platform, which is, I mean, that's all we want, isn't it?
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think it was good. It was good to have that mix, because I want to see that in the World Cup next year. Like, this is a controversial take, and I'm not sure if we're going to see a mix of non-physical and physical, but I've been the biggest fan of non-physical races. I put on a non-physical tournament earlier in the year, and that's so much fun. I mean, your equalized heart rate even goes to 180 when you're just on a keyboard, and that may just be me because I take things too seriously. But I think it's a good mix to add into the World Cup, because it's such a different environment. Who knows? I mean, ultimately, I don't have to race these because I commentate, so I can have these wild ideas. I know Frank hates my love for flat tire because it's so different. But speaking of getting new people on the platform, Beth, speaking of different alternatives, Classist is something that's being worked on behind the scenes. I mean, it's getting better and better. I know you're kind of doing pseudo classes with the Rise and Rip. Can you give us an update on the classes?
Yeah, sure. So we've been doing the Rise and Rip on Mondays and Fridays, and that's a recovery onboarding ride that's depending on who shows up, it can be more just social ride. If there are some questions that people have that are new to the platform, we'll answer those. So it's just a kind of a welcoming place to, pop in and out. And sort of building on that idea is, a lot of the riders and people who ride their bikes, may not be interested in racing. They may be interested in improving their fitness. They may be interested in doing some more structure to their training just to improve their fitness. So kind of zooming out on that and saying, well, and just my background is a spin instructor. That's what got me into cycling, and to begin with is sitting in a studio motivating people to get fit. And I've crossed over to cycling, and not that everybody who tries a spin class will do that, but so I'm just trying to look through the lens of appealing to people who may be intimidated by the bike, to people who just want to ride on Sunday and build their endurance for their spring fondo. And putting a bunch of different sort of classes out there that we can do together. I mean, we have these amazing tools. We have the in-game audio, the in-game video. We can talk about hair color and donuts and all the things that you talk about on social rides. But you also can add structure. I said it on the stream last night with Jennifer. She's really interested in building her endurance, and there'll be an endurance track. Not a track to ride on endurance, but that maybe that too. But there'll be, endurance classes that we will work on. And let me tell you, we all know that 3x20s can be like a snooze by yourself outside. So doing these intervals, whether they're 3 minutes where you can hold your focus a little bit better, or 30 minutes, the platform is really set up nicely for that. So I'm excited for it.
I think we're missing the workouts as well as an option. Now, I think the racing is the future of the platform, but I think having the option to work out, because joining Jennifer in the endurance discussion is Timothy, and Timothy now is like, oh my goodness, I could be so much better because I have the knowledge, I just don't have the heart or the legs yet for it, and so he's panic training for endurance. But if you
Clever.
like Vic, Vic, if you're not structured in the way you actually train, you don't see no gains, right?
Right.
No, that is true. I mean, you definitely need a mix of racing and workouts. You can't just race, because with racing, your power isn't that steady. You go up and down with your power. You create, like, you're always on the limit, which means, yes, you might have like this top, but if it's kind of like a pyramid. If your base is not that great, you can only reach like this far. But if you have a bigger base, your pyramid becomes bigger. It's quite simple when you think about it like that. So yeah, like workouts, I also feel like getting more people in is workouts as well, because a lot of people, they don't really want to race. I mean, if you look from like everyone that does bike riding in the world, most people just ride for fun, which is social rides. But then the rest that are a tiny bit more serious, they like to do workouts, and then you have like this tiny minority that race. So yeah, I think workouts is going to be a really fun part of CVRcade, and like I can't wait to do it, because that means that maybe I don't really get the chance to ride that much anymore, but with a workout I might feel like, I might try this, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun to add those to the game as well.
I think there's a slight adjustment to be made. Sorry, Beth, you can in a sec, because saying that not a lot of people race is incorrect. I think a lot of people race each other on group rides, whether it's for a signpost or it's for the cafe or it's up a hill or whatever. But people don't do organized racing as much as they should. They don't do British cycling, the USA cycling. But on a group ride, I mean, we saw it yesterday. People can't help it. And from the group rides I've been on, if there's a hill, then you race it up. If there is a signpost, then you race for it. Whoever gets last buys the coffee. So racing is still the core of everything, but it's a social aspect. Sorry, Beth, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's okay. But I mean, I think what you're speaking to, we see on Strava segments all the time, right? Where it's sort of like you're out by yourself, and what keeps you motivated is even just beating your less time on that segment, right? Where you're like, and I use that as a measure of like, wait a minute, last August I did this lap this fast. I'm like, wait, what was the temperature? Was I fueled? What did I do the day before? Like, why can't I beat that time? And I'm like, and then there's a few of us that I'll get a notice, and I'll be like, yeah, but that person didn't earn it because they were in a group. They weren't alone, like you have to be alone to earn that QOM, right? Anyway, yeah. So in that way, we're racing in different ways. But with the classes, it's kind of an element of workout. The class is an element of workout. It's going to have the underpinnings of cycling fundamentals. You'll have tempo work and base, sweet spot, all of the strength and cadence and things that you can train for breakaways and stuff. And what's really interesting is we're developing this concept of a pace bot. And so I don't know if we'll end up calling it that or not, but if you're in a workout and you're like, oh, I've got to hold this many watts for this many minutes, and you close your eyes and you look up and you're like, for the love of God, it's only been 30 seconds, kill me, right? So instead of there'll be a countdown and all that stuff, but instead of just trying to like stare at a clock counting down and at your output of power, where you're going to be having a bot to chase and follow, so that you can sort of take your mind off of it. So you're kind of almost racing your bot. And if you get to your bot and you're drafting in your bot, you're just a little bit, you're having that efficiency. So you're also working on gameplay dynamics while you're working out. So it's just got another level. And I'm so excited because I don't think I know there's nothing else like this out there on the planet. And we have this opportunity to develop something really new. So Friday, I'm going to try to work one in the Rise and Rip with the Pace Bot. See how that works out, and just throw that in, because I usually do three 20-minute, 25-minute rides back to back. So I'm going to put one of the workouts in there and give it a test. So everybody's going to be a guinea pig for the next couple of weeks while I have fun with it. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
I love that idea though, because like I'm a rep kind of guy. I don't like doing anything by time. I like to know that if I do it and I can do it quicker, it means I can get done quicker. And that Victor will know this from going to the gym with me. But that's just how my mind works, is that everything is efficiency. If I can get it done quicker, fine, I can get on to the next task. And when you have to do something for a period of time, then you just go, nah, I can do something better for 20 minutes, like sitting on the couch or, sitting in the chair or laying in bed. All of course, just alone to me. But yeah, everybody, we hit the 30-minute mark. When we started these podcast talk shows, we wanted to make sure that we didn't really exceed the 20-minute mark. We've been excruciating bad for a while now, which is my fault, and the excitement as well.
It's too much to talk about.
Yeah, we just can't shut up, the three of us.
Exactly, it's a bad combination.
If you have enjoyed this talk show, please leave a like. The competition for the track builder is live, and it's live until next Wednesday. So make sure you've got from now to next Wednesday. Start building. If you need advice, reach out to me, reach out to Ben, reach out to the community as a total. I know that the track builder hasn't had a lot of love, but this is why we're doing this as well. I want people to go in. I want them to stress test the track builder. If you find bugs and issues, do make them available and known to the community, because then we can fix them and everybody's experience gets better. So may the best builder win. I mean, I guess that's all that's left to say, guys.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Say so.
And see you next time.